And it starts with game number 1 between Aurora and EVOS Holy.
All right, let's get right into this game. Our very final best of 3 series to determine who's going to be making it on to the next round in the playoffs here at the Snapdragon Pro Series. Let's call on our best friend Madong here. Is he going to break that stone in the middle? Nah, not this time. It's wide open, all hands in the air. It's Aurora on the blue side up against EVOS Holy on the red.
This is so good. It just dawned on me that more teams are doing this. The Jawhead leash. Look at this. As soon as Demon Kite goes to his orange, it's down to like 10th of its health.
Yep, that's the beauty of Jawhead, right? Super fast clear, and UA getting hard shoved in, unfortunately. Expected at level 1. Let's look at the emblems to see if there's anything interesting. Wilderness Blessing to kind of keep up instead of Tenacity. So big difference between Deficit as well as UA. On the bottom side, we're not seeing, well, actually, no Weapon Masters at all. It's going to be Magic Shop just to make sure to get some discounts here. Now, Kite trying to hit level 4 as soon as possible as Reggie has already gotten chunked out pretty hard at level 2 against Edward, who's playing a very strong lane against them.
Yep, the whole Lucas beats up Hilda happens more when he gets the items, happens more in team fights because it's easier to do things and to break up lineups more as a Lucas than it is a Hilda. There is going to come a point where an Edward is more just a glorified ward or, you know, like core killer in Deposit and Erlan, but that's neither here nor there just yet.
Yeah, but in terms of his emblem setup as well, he's opting to go for the concussive wax. He kind of wants to keep up with the Hilda in case they do get that initial push. But let's not forget the fact that, you know, the rotation coming in from Demon Kite was towards the bottom side of the map, so giving pressure up isn't actually that bad of an idea since Albert, now that he's here, holding up a large area to hopefully catch Edward off. Did they find him?
They did! And that is going to be first blood. A 4-man kill squad taken down. Mr. Consistent. They're a man down for this first turtle take, and still, Aurora are marching in.
They're going to try. Pretty bad odds for them, and I think that after the initial take here, Albert, he's very comfortable. Like most junglers we've seen so far, would rather rush getting level 5 before actually doing the turtle, but EVOS Holy, they don't mind rushing it as soon as possible because at minimum, they're only losing one small camp on the top side of the map rather than the entirety of the top side.
They timed it well. They took down Edward, counted it up. If we blitz this, Orange wouldn't have spawned just yet, and Demon Kite at best would only steal that small camp. Great win for EVOS Holy. Again, first blood for free, plus 500 gold up. So far, gold lane a little mum. Will Demon Kite try to even that odd? Because I would assume that Edward will try to leave that bottom lane, XP lane, faster. That a steal? Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah. Keeping it close as possible. Demon Guy has a very slight EXP as of right now over EVOS' Holy Albert here. He will be hitting level 7 pretty soon, but it's very minor, very minute. We'll see whether it's going to compound later down the line. For the most part, on bottom side, this is where we're expecting Reggie to get a little bit more active, right? He's got that first initial kill and level lead on Edward, so he wants to kind of maintain that process so he can get first move, even going to proxy the wave.
Dear God, the Hitman and the next standard hit 1. Down goes Erlan, so this should open up the rest of the map for Aurora, give him a clear go signal, or at least if not, allow for them to keep going. Wait, what is this? What is this? Is that Renegade getting hit up top? Ooh. That might be it for the Hitman. Kept alive by a Nether Realm off of UA, so you can count how many seconds is that left that you can't fight in time for the turtle.
Yep, 20 seconds. Honestly, this is pretty good for EVOS Holy, unless Aurora is able to kind of, you know, set the pace, tell EVOS Holy, hey, we're able to buy a little bit of time until we get that Nether Realm back online. However, if we're talking about alt economy here, Reggie, it seems like he hasn't got his own alt back just yet. He just needs to get into a bit of a scuffle to get it back up. But more importantly, when it comes down to the, oh wow, Thunderbell build coming up from Reggie, he's not going for War Axe.
I guess we'll get the War Axe after. Again, he does need more sustainability, especially against the Hilda. Man advantage for EVOS.
Oh my God!
Especially an ult off camera. Down goes Renegade. Erlan traded out for, though. That's in the gold lane. In the turtle pit, though, still. Looks like another going over to EVOS Holy.
They want to be fast about this. Edward is going to get stunned up, but really he's not the main target here. And it looks like Aurora, yes, they are definitely playing for the Domain Kite route rather than the Demon Kite route. They just need Demon Kite to just be consistently farming. Once he gets the Holy Crystal, he's going to be doing some hard work and labor for his team. But in the meantime, Domain is scaling very fast.
It seems like both teams are calculating what they're giving up. Renegade spots one, goes for the unstoppable force, the ejector, spent in. He's gonna go down here. Oh, another round just come off a cooldown at the perfect time. In comes Demon Kite, trying to take one down, trade it out for Rome. They're still going underneath the turret. They let go. Demon Kite down to a fifth of his health. They're playing with the range, and both teams, to some extent, are dive comps up until Demon Kite comes in. So Demon Kite not being in here changes that dynamic.
It does, but in terms of tempo, they did get the bot tier 1 turret for their troubles despite trading supports while EVOS Holy was able to actually cover that top side. So structural damage has been dealt by EVOS Holy. However, Deposit getting put to 1 here by Edward. They're not going to lose that mid turret, are they?
Looks like it should be fine. Aurora are thinking twice. It looks like they put so much work in the top lane, and that bottom lane push by Erlan, very sneaky, went in too fast, and I don't think that was down the schedule for them. They weren't ready for that.
Yeah, it looks like they're heading back up to the top side. They're not 100% sure where Key is. They know he's up towards the bottom side. And since they were up top earlier, they saw Albert. He probably cleared up his top side, so they know that a majority of members should be bot coming up river.
Renegade spots one, make that two. Says, all right, they're on their way up here. So far, besides Edward, it's like it's EVOS Holy who gets to these bushes first.
Yeah, Renegade. Renegade's trying to sneak in between the cracks here. I'm not sure whether Reggie saw Renegade tailing him earlier, but now that the turtle is going to be spawning on the bot side, as expected, Domek clearing up that top side, he might participate in the upcoming battle.
Big chubby wave set in by the next standard, and here comes the turtle. Final one scored by EVOS Holy. Aurora looking to collapse. Big Eternal Guard set down by Deposit. And they're in the middle of all of this. Ejector the glorious pathway. Two go down just like that. Aurora, a man down. Ewan just respawned. Edward very low. Down goes Dominkite. Reggie biting down onto him like a pit bull.
Great stuff coming in from Deposit. Was able to find a huge two-man fear to set things up for the rest of EVOS Holy. And Reggie more than happy to flicker forward to chase the rest of them down. With mid-tier 1 down, EVOS Holy can get a little aggressive.
This Lucas pick by EVOS Holy at the very last slot, paying dividends. 302 right now on the formerly known as Fluffy. I'm loving it. See, it's worth it what he did here. Thunderbelt first.
I'm surprised that it's working out this well. He's building full... I'm guessing that he's going to go the full tank route. Yep, that's the Athena shield already completed. He's going to completely omit the War Axe. It's not about sustain. It's more so I can stick around, get my damage down, and hopefully I can get 2 rotations in my spells.
Instead of burst damage, it's more damage over time. The fact that I'm here much longer makes it harder for Aurora to take down the rest of EVOS Holy. Aurora finally does find vindication in that gold lane. Down goes that tier 1, but that doesn't change the fact that EVOS Holy are running circles around them. Again, EVOS Holy are just finding bushes better. They're making ganks much faster. Now here comes Key, blocking out Demon Kite, going through the glorious pathway, saying, get out of this lane.
Yeah, and now you can see that the living ward, Edward, trying to make sure that he can cover as much as he can to keep the goalpost as far away as possible, being the keeper of it, so that EVOS Holy can score free kills. And as much as EVOS Holy is able to make these like fast rotations across the map, a lot of it's because there is no safe place for Aurora anymore without those T1s. Tier 2s don't hold very powerful positions across the map and are more for economy for the enemy team more than anything else.
That's right. Tier 2s are more like speed bumps. After you get one through, it's just a matter of time. Lord could be there, and then once you get the Lord, Tier 2 just follows within 5 or 6 seconds after. The dance has begun. EVOS Holy wants this. EVOS Holy has initiative. Edward holding that brush, but the river brush is what's really dictating the power, the dominance here in this dance. Reggie taking the Brixel. Albert holding the fence. Why for the rest of EVOS Holy? And Aurora are second guessing themselves. The concealed play by Renegade.
They want somebody. Terrify is already out. That's one cooldown they can take advantage of. But here it comes. Carpet's down, and now they engage.
Glorious pathway set in by Key, dispersing the rest of Aurora. Here they come. An early Nether Realm. Not gonna be enough to stop Reggie. He wants more. Down goes Renegade. Tactical retreat by EVOS Holy. They regroup, they reset, and they get back to the Lord.
I'm surprised Renegade got blown up just like that, even with the Netherrealm covering him as well. Nemesis was able to loses his flicker, but here comes Demon Kite.
Here comes the re-engage. Reggie very low, loses out to Edward, trading out for Demon Kite. E goes down, Albert 2, and there's 3 for 2.
That was a mistake coming in from EVOS Holy. They lined up nicely, and UA got a huge Ghostbusters. You saw Key explode. Even Albert, despite trying to out-sustain the raw damage, the multiplier is just too much. And now with Aurora securing down that Lord, this is where they start bouncing back and finding some permanent damage in the economy against EVOS Holy.
Gideon, they hit that Lord raw. Both teams did not have retribution, but there was a man advantage and more firepower for Aurora, and they said, you know what, forget about it. We'll just take it. And they did. They won out a Lord here at the 10.5-minute mark, despite not having much of the map. Because look, top lane belongs to EVOS. Bottom lane belongs to EVOS. Tier 1 still standing in mid for EVOS. So they'll use this Lord as more of a comeback.
I mean, they're evening out the score pretty quickly here. I mean, we saw the gold as well as the EXP graph, a huge surge for Aurora at this point of time. We'll see how much they're really going to get off of this as the Lord advantage increases, but this isn't a testament to how they built their team composition. Aurora are trying to play the Wolf of Wall Street here. Leonardo DiCaprio is telling you, hey, sell me this pen, and if EVOS Holy buys into that idea, then Aurora can look for better prices and continue to push the advantage after the cooldowns have been thrown.
Watched that movie for the first time last week. I should have watched it much sooner. Here we go, the back line getting pulled in. Demon Kite looking for one from all the way up top. Key barely survives, dropping that glorious pathway. TKO for Aurora. One member down. That'll allow for them to push down bottom with that Lord. I'm looking at a popped Holy Shield.
Yep, and they've basically guaranteed one on the bottom side of the map. Curious to see whether or not top side is gonna also collapse as well. Very good coverage from the side of EVOS Holy. But you can see that the tier 2s are collapsing very, very fast. Aurora is more than happy to take it.
They are sitting on a 2,000 gold lead, approaching 3, and the map is looking blue. Holy Shield still intact for top. Oh no, wow, they all just went. Oh well, we're up past the 12-minute mark. So now EVOS Holy has to be extra careful. They do have to understand that since the map has shrunk, they're losing their tier 2s. Albert has to say goodbye to his orange buff here. Might even also be the purple.
Yeah, I mean, at least Albert is already at level 15. You're just losing a little bit of gold. The EXP doesn't really matter to you at this point. And when we're looking at the gold, honestly, not too far away from each other. Both Demon Kite as well as Albert already at past the 8.5k mark. 3 items already completed. However, there is not enough MR built on the side of EVOS Holy. Only one Athena shield has been completed, and that might cause a couple of problems once those electrifying beats land.
And the majority of this 3k gold lead is on Demon Kite and Erlan. So not just MR you have to think about, but even this, the Antique Kiras. This is going to be key for Reggie to survive these head-on dogfights.
Yeah, it's going to be a matter of execution. And I think that EVOS Holy, they have to hold on to their cooldowns for as long as possible until they can guarantee something from Aurora. 2.9k lead for now, but look at the convoy coming up from EVOS Holy. They cannot just have people separated. And the same goes for Aurora, but they can have a wider spread.
So far, I'm liking how Edward is actually adjusting. He's not as... Oh, wait. All right, he checks in. All right. See how conservative he is as a Hilda? Usually you would see Hilda's running around. Edward's just that consistent. Edward just knows that, all right, I need to stay here, hold my ground. They'll be here somewhere nearby. And he uses that to his advantage. He's forcing EVOS Holy to respond first, to make the first move.
He's doing the legwork to sell that pen, right? He's like, I'll give you a Thunderbelt stack, but you gotta give me something here.
Let me know where the other 2 are. Tell me.
Tell me. As you can see, top side, a big wave is amassing, and Aurora knows this as well, with the bottom side ready to get shoved in at any time. They're going to let Domang sit on top of it for now until we see a response from EVOS Holy.
Oh, they're going to send Erlan to take care of it. I guess that's one thing EVOS Holy have considered. The conceal coming in from Renegade, the flicker. They catch one, ejector on to Key, dropping the glorious pathway. EG making this all so much harder. Edward finds deficit, the flicker back, the blast from Reggie, and they lose 2 just as quickly. the Lord back in the sights of Aurora.
A decisive decision coming in from Aurora's side. As soon as Harith Erlan shows on that top, instantly Conceal and Renege will start the play. Now, keep in mind, while this is happening, Edward is getting right in front of Depozet's face. He needs to make sure that he minimizes the damage being done by him, and more so the rest of his team doesn't get hit by the fear.
Oh man, it's not just the pen he's selling, he's also forcing Erlan to put out his ult. That's a Zaman Force down already, just by standing in that bush.
Exactly. Inhibitors are still going to stand for now. Let's see what the setup is, because again, we see that AURORA are trying to keep EVOS Holy back, not trying to get all the waves to collapse at the same time.
They're doing their best, and it looks like it's going to be successful, at least for mid, right? Look at how far out this wave has gone through, and they'll be welcoming this enhanced Lord with enough time to clear bottom and mid. EVOS Holy holding on to all of their inhibitors. Lord's going to crash, but at least he's going to still keep that turret safe.
Yeah, oh, Reggie might be in some trouble, quickly having to unleash the beast as quickly as possible to keep himself alive. Good use of the cooldowns here. And I think that EVOS Holy, we're getting into the final phase of this game. EVOS Holy's got some really great high ground defense, and Aurora doesn't necessarily want to just freely dive underneath inhibitor turrets.
They are conservative. Again, I think it's Edward who's telling everybody, all right, relax, relax. Let's not throw this game. We got a great lead, about 5,000 gold. Let's make sure that Yue has enough damage even, right? Because he's what? Short 2 items. Let's make sure that Domenkite says, okay, let's go. I could sell my boots. Extra firepower. Aurora are waiting for this Lord coming up in about a minute and change.
It's going to be a tough fight here, because now it's starting to equalize. I think the only issue is that Depozet doesn't have any penetration when it comes down to his magic damage. Even so, I think the Wishing Lantern is going to do more than enough, especially against the frontliners of Aurora. They can't just hover around for too long anyways.
And looking at Reggie, he needs one more bit of physical defense. I'm guessing this is an immortality, so that he has one more stop click before the Unleash the Beast. So maybe he can even Unleash the Beast first and then force out all the damage and all the ults from Aurora so that he can come in for one more fight.
Keep in mind that Reggie is opting to go for the Flicker instead of going for traditional Vengeance, right? So if Aurora overcommit towards Reggie's side and he's able to kind of, push the backline forward into EVOS Holy, that could cause a lot of problems. And I think Aurora is trying to maintain that balance of, we need to chunk him out, but we also can't give him too much space.
I reckon, best case scenario, he forces out an early Netherrealm. Like, that's why he uses Flicker. So that it's either my immortality or your ult. Make my day, Yue. Pick your poison.
They got to make these trades. And for now, Aurora just waiting for the right opportunities, waiting for the next Lord, just to make sure that they can hold EVOS Holy hostage. Ideally, they would have liked to take at least one of those inhibitor turrets, especially on the long lane, right? Just to re-simulate what happened in the previous. Hold on.
Renege down to a fifth of his health. Eternal Guard already dropped in. Just to answer Edward, Zaman Force as well, spent out. That's both teams using a good chunk of their ults because of that surprise engagement in this River Brush.
Okay, but that's pretty huge, right? Because Depozet's ult takes a lot longer to come back online in comparison to the Zaman Force, which is already back up. So now Aurora have an opportunity.
They're chasing Edward. Another Zaman Force dropped in. Edward does find the brush. Erlan pulled away. Yue looking for a pull. Look at Renege with the ejector. Finds one. Forces out the dub. And they do get it. Netherrealm. Down goes Albert to the back line. Demonkai dancing all around him. Reggie and the rest of EVOS Holy are retreating. Down goes Erlan. Defensive. Eternal Guard. Not going to be enough to push back the Northern Lights. 2 left, Reggie and Depozet. Aurora might go for the finish.
Oh, man. You're going to need a bigger umbrella here. You can't try to block the lights out with just your fingers. They'll slip through the cracks, and the battle lines just crumbled so quickly. You see that Reggie is even trying to keep Yue back, and it's just not enough. Once Depozet is out of position, you can't get an effective ult down.
Finally, a penetration up top. The inhibitor crumbles mid lane. Up next on the docket, the base is exposed. 2 waves crashing through. A fight underneath the base. Reggie's trying. Depozet's trying. The base is gonna go a crumbling.